Good evening, William and Mary. Tonight we join in reflection and remembrance in the Wren Courtyard, where we gather at solemn moments to support each other. Our nation and our community are reeling with sorrow and awakening. Words are still hard to come by, yet so many have courageously reached out. I have heard your grief, your experiences, your fears for loved ones. Tonight, we stand in solidarity with those in our community who are suffering, and we grieve for those across our nation whose lives have been taken brutally by racism and injustice. Dr. Sean Glover will call the names.
Tonight we call their names for the named and unnamed Black lives that mattered and still matter. We pause for a moment of silence, honoring especially Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd.
No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite.
History is not just facts and events. History is also a pain in the heart. And we repeat history until we are able to make another's pain in the heart our own.
Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe.
To encounter oneself is to encounter the other, and this is love. If I know that my soul trembles, I know that yours does too. And if I can respect this, both of us can live. Neither of us truly can live without the other. A statement which would not sound so banal if one were not so endlessly compelled to repeat it and act on that belief.
They came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I didn't speak up because I was a Protestant. Then they came for me, and by that time, no one was left to speak up.
The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. It is from numberless diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance.
If you have come to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you recognize that your liberation and mine are bound up together, we can walk together.
Seeing race is not the problem. Refusing to care for the people we see is the problem. The fact that the meaning of race may evolve over time or lose much of its significance is hardly a reason to be struck blind. We should hope not for a colorblind society, but instead for a world in which we can see each other fully, learn from each other, and do what we can to respond to each other with love. That was King's dream, a society that is capable of seeing each of us as we are with love. That is a goal worth fighting for.
You should be angry. You must not be bitter. Bitterness is like cancer. It eats upon the host. It doesn't do anything to the object of its displeasure. So use that anger. You write it. You paint it. You dance it. You march it. You vote it. You do everything about it. You talk it. Never stop talking it.
Justice is what love sounds like when it speaks in public.
I have no idea when or if racism will be eradicated. I have no idea whether anything I say, do, or write will make the least bit of difference in the world. But I say it, do it, and write it anyway, because as uncertain as the outcome of our resistance may be, the outcome of our silence and inaction is anything but.
If we are to love our neighbors, before doing anything else, we must see our neighbors. with our imagination as well as our eyes. That is to say, like artists. We must see not just their faces, but the life behind and within their faces. Here it is. Love. That is the frame we see them in.
Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time, eyes have been climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark when there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's gone hard. Don't you fall now. For I's still going, honey. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle, the tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals.